gosh. This is going to happen, and I'm deeply, deeply conflicted. Brian Windhorst is here talking about Bronny James. Bronny James passed his medicals, and he is cleared to enter the NBA draft, cleared to play in the NBA draft, get selected in the NBA draft. And here's Brian Windhorst talking about where this may all shake out.
Over the last few months, Rich Paul, who's the agent for LeBron and Bronny James, has made an effort to part the concept that drafting Bronny James means you're getting LeBron. I do believe LeBron is going to opt out of his contract next month, and I do believe he's got several reasons why he wants to do that, and leaving optionality for playing with Bronny is on the list, but I don't think it's at the top. I do think he's going to be back with the Lakers. And I also will say this. I think if the Lakers have an opportunity to draft Bronny James, they will do so. Whether that's with the 55th pick or if they make another deal around the draft where they pick up another pick, I think they will try. I do not think it's going to be their top priority. And I don't think the league right now is looking at this as draft Bronny James and you can get LeBron. I do think the league wants to hear from Bronny this week at the draft combine because nobody has heard from Bronny. LeBron has been his voice throughout his career, and the scouts believe that Bronny played out of position this year, and they think he actually might be better than what he's shown. So we're going to learn a lot more about Bronny in the next few days, the next week or two, and then we're going to have a better chance to assess exactly what might happen.
Okay, there's a lot in there, and I think the most important part to me is that drafting LeBron James Jr. is not going to be the thing that pulls LeBron James somewhere else. Like if, I don't know, take your pick, Charlotte drafts him, he's not going to end up in Charlotte because, I want to play with my kid. That's probably way down the list of reasons to take him. LeBron would like to play with him. The Lakers are interested in drafting him. The Lakers have a late round second pick, 55, right? They have the 55th pick in the draft. There's only 60 picks.
I think this year even only like 58 for some reason. Okay.
They're going to do it, aren't they? They're going to do it. That all of the indications are LeBron is coming back to the Lakers. He'll opt out. They'll redo his deal one way or the other. That no one else is really going to be desperate to take him because he's not like a super high-ranking prospect or somebody that you're going to slide into your organization and play right away. He's a developmental piece. The Lakers have a pick towards the back end of the second round that is more often than not used for a developmental player. They're going to do it. I can't decide if I love it or I'm horrified by it, but they're going to do it.
I'm not saying the Lakers can't multitask. I'm not saying that they're not able to do a few things at once. But think about where this should be of the conversation for this upcoming year. And I get it. Bron's, he's got an option, and it is Bronny James, and the fact that he's publicly said he wants to play with him, the fact that stories were coming out 17 seconds after the Lakers were eliminated from the Denver Nuggets, Shams had put it out and said that Lakers interested in drafting Bron. I get that they're going to accommodate to him, but Lakers don't have a head coach. We have no idea who the coach is going to be. Clearly, they don't have a roster that can compete for a championship. Not can you make it to the playoffs? Can you win a round? Can you compete for a championship? There's conversations about 3 first-rounders potentially going out to go try to get a player. And the conversation that we're having, and I get it, and this is a conversation that is around the Lakers circles right now, is about Bronny James, who will have zero impact on your team this upcoming year and potentially ever, because we have no idea if he's a good basketball player or not. We just know that he is the son of LeBron James. Yes, it is going to happen.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is going to happen.
I know.
It's my roundabout way of telling you how unimportant it is and that it will happen.
Well, it's not unimportant. It's unimportant for the reasons that you laid out. It's unimportant for whether it's going to impact winning or losing. I agree with you that it is them. If they take him, they don't win more. If they take him, they don't win less. I think it has nothing to do with that. Their win total next year will be independent of whether or not they select LeBron James Jr. Where it is important is I think it speaks to where they are as an organization, where it speaks to where they are as far as their priority goes in trying to figure out what comes next. And their priority has been for a very long time, and I'm not even saying it's the wrong priority, but I'm saying it is simply service the LeBron James account. The business is LeBron James for the time being. that if LeBron James likes it, they love it. If he wants it, we're going to get it done for you. That it speaks to that. Because if it were just a basketball pick, they're not doing that.
Can I ask
but
you this?
It's another brick in the wall to, hey, listen, we're going to do what he wants to be extended.
Yep.
We're going to extend him. We want a different coach. Who do you want? You want us to take your kid? Got it. Like it's just another indicator that whatever LeBron James would like, LeBron James is going to get. And right now, where they are, where the rest of the West is, the players that are likely available to shake loose, I don't even think it's a bad plan because it doesn't affect the winning and losing.
Hypothetically, and I know this is not the case, but LeBron should not be doing what he's doing at age 39. He just shouldn't. It's never happened in the history of basketball for somebody to be still this effective at this stage of his career. There are times that we were talking about in the playoffs against Denver where, there are moments where it's like he's the best player on the floor.
Yeah.
I know Jokic is there, Jamal's doing his
thing.
Sure. But there are moments like that. If LeBron James wasn't, let's say he's 39 years old and cut his numbers all in half. So instead of 25 points a game, he's giving you 13 points a game. Instead of 8 rebounds a game, he's giving you 4. Instead of 8 assists, he's giving you 4. So he's 13, 4, and 4. But he's still box office. You know that if he's in your arena, you're going to make the money. People are going to come out. They want to see one of the greatest to ever do it. It's LeBron James. How much different do you think they'd be treating this moment?
Not at all. Not at all.
It's just basketball.
And I'll use this as an example. And I know this is a little blasphemous. They gave Kobe that sweetheart deal, the golden parachute deal, long after he was Kobe Bryant. The best version of Kobe, and again, Kobe,
big difference there.
Of course there is. But my point is that their best guy at any given time, and Kobe obviously is, him and Magic are kind of in a category of their own, but LeBron is their best guy, and they want their reputation to be, we take care of our best guy, we take care of our super mega duper super duper stars, and we get them what they want, and even if his production is a fraction of what it used to be, we're
now,
still going to do it.
I'm speaking out of my ass because his production is still very, very good, but what I'm saying, the reason why I set it up that way for you is that tells me that basketball is secondary. So when we talk about Bronny, basketball is secondary. That the basketball is not the priority.
I don't know about that, Al, because is there somebody they're going to draft?
You just said 13, 4, and 4.
Yeah, but is there somebody you're going to draft at 55 that's going to all of a sudden change the way your organization is on the court? I don't think so. I mean, maybe 1 in a million you find exactly the right guy at that point. But it's exceedingly unlikely that player impacts your organization one way or the other.
But that player that you're drafting is purely for entertainment purposes. Purely for entertainment.
Yeah.
There's not a basketball reason for it.
Okay.
At least just off of what. If I told you Bronny James is going back to college because he wants another year.
Join a fraternity
yes. He wants to get another full year under his belt. He wants to get another full year under his belt, and then he wants to try to help his draft class for next year. And then maybe if he does that, he can become more of a this is a potential late first round or something along those lines. I know what you're saying of, okay, but what's the 55th pick anyways? It's not that big of a deal, right? I get that.
Yeah,
I get
that's
that concept
kind
of
of
it.
where I keep landing
I get that
on
concept of it. But drafting Bronny has nothing to do with basketball. All it has to do with, we're just accommodating to LeBron James. And maybe that's the basketball part of it. We want to keep LeBron happy.
Right.
And if LeBron is happy, then LeBron stays a Laker, and that is the basketball portion of it.
It's making sure your best, most important player is happy as possible. That's what the basketball portion of it is. I'm not saying that he scores points. It's, hey, he wants it. This is throwaway is such an aggressive term, but it's a throwaway pick 99.5% of the time. That the guy that gets picked 55th is not going to impact this team. LeBron's going to impact this team, and if he wants it and it makes him happier, it makes him feel a certain way.
Yeah,
what's the harm in it? That's where I land. And it'll be great theater.
Here's what the front office is going to have to try to juggle, because I'm of the mindset that the perception that you're giving off by drafting Bronny is not really about basketball.
What's the perception they're giving off right now?
So here's what I was going to say. You're going to have a group of Laker fans that are always going to say, and this is just what the franchise has built. There's only a few franchises that can actually say this. Can you compete for a championship next year? Isn't the Laker brand supposed to be all about winning, this, that? What they're going to have to try to juggle this upcoming year is if you draft Bronny and you give LeBron James that 3-year extension for $150 plus, if you potentially go out there and shop your 3 picks, you do all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
What's the priority of we're doing everything to win versus we're doing everything to take care of one player?
Yeah,
and can the two merge?
No, that's the thing. They're in no man's land, and drafting Bronny doesn't prevent those other things from happening.
Drafting Bronny gives off a perception that all you're trying to do is just accommodate to LeBron.
Right. What's the harm in that?
Which is the perception.
But it doesn't prevent them from making any real basketball moves. The 55th pick isn't going to change anything.
Then why get rid of all? Just get rid of all your late second rounders, anyways. You don't need them. Anyways.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, if the choice was get rid of all my second rounders to make sure LeBron James gets what he needs, okay.
But that's my point. My point is
but it's not affecting your team at all.
Even if your late second rounder that's not really where you grab somebody and you eventually have a guy that becomes a big impact player. It's just purely the perception of Bron, you want your son, we're going to bring your son.
I want to come back and do this because I want to know what you think the perception of that group of individuals that's making the decisions now is today without that pick. We'll do that when we come back. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
That percentage is.
So I want to go back to something you were saying a second ago. You're talking about how if the Lakers do in fact decide to draft LeBron James Jr. with the 55th pick, that it's kind of an indicator that winning basketball is not necessarily their priority, that continuing the LeBron James show is the priority.
Can I just say that in their mind, that is part of winning basketball to them because it is accommodating to LeBron James and that they have to their path that they believe of being relevant and staying a part of the conversation. I'm not talking about part of the conversation of winning a championship because nobody's looking at the Lakers right now and saying that's a serious threat.
Yep.
But relevant, are you, by the time you get to March, are you in the mix of making the playoffs?
Doesn't LeBron guarantee you're at least in the mix? He has for 21 years.
Well, they missed the playoffs twice, but I know there were some circumstances. There were some, as a Laker, there's been some circumstances, but they've missed the playoffs twice.
Yeah, but they've been relevant the entire. Other than maybe the first year with all the young guys, they've been relevant.
They were relevant then too. Relevant. I think is a different description. I do think they believe LeBron is their best path.
I think they're right about that.
I think they believe LeBron is their best path.
Do you think that's not true?
No, I do think LeBron's the best path, but I also don't like that they think they hold zero leverage. That I think the idea and the concept, we talked about this right when they were eliminated. Okay, if you offer him a 2-year deal, not a 3-year deal, where do you think he's going? You think he's going somewhere?
You
don't draft Bronny James at 55 because there's somebody else that you identified there at 55. Where's he going to make
that big of a difference?
Listen, let me just play out a scenario real quick, okay? Let's say there was a freaking dude that was injured during college.
Yeah.
That kept kind of falling back because of his injuries. And they said, this guy should be a first rounder. I'm making up a story. This guy should be a first rounder. But because he was injured, this is why he fell back. And you know what? Let's just try to grab this guy because we don't know if he doesn't go drafted, another team can get him, blah, blah, blah. They want him at 55. I'm just saying that making a decision based on basketball, I don't think LeBron's going to go anywhere if you don't draft Bronny or if you don't give him a
probably
3-year
not.
deal.
I don't think he's going to go anywhere, but I don't think that drafting LeBron James Jr. or drafting someone not LeBron James Jr. is an indicator that they're more or less serious about winning. This is what they do. They are star blankers. You know what I mean? This is what they do. They take care of their very best guys. Right, and that means that we're going to take care of him, and I don't think that using a pick on a player that's a borderline candidate at best is, we don't care about winning. I think it's just this is what we do. It doesn't change my perception of them at all. It's kind of more of the same thing.
If it was, I'm curious where it would change your perception. What if they had the 35th pick, not the 55th? Does that change anything to you?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
and you still get real players. Basically, you still got a shot at getting a real player. First off, there are guys that don't even get drafted that become real players.
Let's say it was 35th. Okay, let's say it was, and they still did it. I'm not saying what are they doing. They don't care about winning at all. Their best chance to win, whatever the ceiling of that is with LeBron. And if they want to keep him happy, keep him happy.
You can care about winning and also do the wrong thing. The Lakers care about winning. That doesn't mean they're doing the right thing.
No, they haven't done the right thing in a while.
So I think we might both be saying the same thing, but
you said that you think that drafting him indicates that they're not serious about basketball.
That's
what you said.
Yeah, it gives off a perception that, well, we're just getting this guy because it's LeBron's son. We're just getting this guy from an entertainment perspective. And I get it. It's number 55 pick. It still gives off a perception of, so you're not going to go try to find a player that you feel like is the right player for your team. You're just basically grabbing this guy because he's Bronny, who has proved to nobody that he should probably even be in this draft.
I'm with you on that. He's not the guy that you would take to because he's earned the spot. But if I have to take care of my guy, I'm going to do whatever I can, especially if the cost is so low. What's the harm?
Maybe they got lucky, too, that it is 55. Because I couldn't disagree
Maybe
more.
they can move up.
I couldn't disagree more about the 35.
Yeah. Again, I know that there are good players that land in different spots, but
listen,
I'm taking care of LeBron.
Jalen Hood-Schifino was taken at 17.
Yeah.
That's a first round.
Didn't work out so great, at least not so far.
First year was awful. So it's not even – it's a guarantee even if you take him.
They're going to do what they've always done. They're going to take care of the top of the pyramid, and they'll figure it out after that. And then if the top of the pyramid wants something different,
when you say they, do you mean the current –
ownership.
The current front office?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeannie, Rob.
Because – I don't think that's the case. Even though the Lakers have been, we got to go get stars. Front office is a lot different in the past. Front office in the past,
15 years ago.
I'm talking about. Yes, you go and go get stars.
How far back are we going? Because since Jeannie's
Dr.
taken
Jerry
over,
Buss.
it's been a while, and that's 10 years.
I know, but when you said that the priority is winning, and it's the entertainment. They go get stars. Dr. Jerry Buss was able to juggle both things at the same time.
He was.
And he's also the greatest to ever do it. So
he was. Since then, they've not been able to thread that needle. And it's not easy to do, but they've missed more than they've hit. Factor Caps coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.